Hey, everybody out there, it's Bob and Lou at the Two Old Guys Garage. It is Friday, all right? Friday, August 21st, 2026, and it is goddamn hot. It's been hot here in Texas, northern Texas, where we are near Fort Worth. At least 4 weeks, 4 weeks.
Yeah.
3 to 4 weeks, we've had daily temperatures go over 100. And I was just telling Lou I was heading out to do some shopping the other day and driving along 1709 to South Lake to go to Costco. Outside temperature was 109 degrees. So, another part of the weather is that there's a high front that's hovering over most of the United States, which is causing it. And it's supposed to last till at least the first week, I think, in September. So, in the meantime, how does that affect us, the Two Old Guys Garage? Lou, as we've mentioned a number of times, is using the Anglia as a daily driver. And as you might suspect, with temperatures 100 degrees and over, the Anglia is running a lot hotter than it has been. I guess it boiled over once, right, Lou?
Right.
Yeah, but basically it's running very hot. In fact, about there, the engine is sitting at 200 degrees right now. So, to combat that, I found out that Lou had his vacuum advance on the distributor actually connected to ported vacuum above the throttle blades. And I've done much research on this through the years. It is absolutely better to run the vacuum advance from manifold vacuum, because what this gives you is at idle, it gives you much more advanced on the distributor vacuum, which contributes to better combustion and cooler running, not only at idle, but actually when you're driving along with a minimal throttle open. And it also increases gas mileage. By the way, the reason that carburetors have even a facility to connect to ported vacuum, which on the Holly is that guy right there, is
that one down here.
Yeah, that's the one that's vacuum. Manifold vacuum. That's normally where I connect the. Those are plugged up. Yeah. Anyway, I convinced him to shift over to manifold vacuum, which he has, and that's split off this T, which is manifold vacuum. That goes to the transmission, and it tees off to the vacuum. So what we did this morning is, we ran some tests on the vacuum advance for the distributor to make sure that it is actually working. And did that by connecting a vacuum gauge and seeing that it pumped up and held vacuum, and then we popped the cap off and actually physically verified that when it was pumped up by the vacuum puller, it actually advances the distributor properly. So that part is working. So, next thing we did was we checked the timing, and I'm not quite successful there because at the hot and the roughness of the idle, having difficulty reading the timing marks. They're really buried in there like everything else. And got some, looks like it wasn't running. Blueprint to maintain the warranty and advertises with this particular 350 engine that vacuum advance all out, excluding the ignition advance on the engine should be set no greater than 34. So checking it, it didn't look like it's sitting at 34, so we've been monkeying with it, but it's so damn hot that the timing light stopped working. And I've got it sitting in the refrigerator to cool it down. Anyway, that's where that is. Now the other thing is, if I come over here, I'll show you The radiator fan that's in the back, that one right there, is a 12 volt 90 watt,
Yeah, 12 volt 90 watt.
which is 7.5 amps draw, and that equates to how much is it? 900.
Yeah, it wasn't that much.
It's a low CFM.
Yeah.
Okay. So did some research yesterday, and come up with a fan that should fit in there, that actually is 130 watts or 2723 CFM. And we've got that on order from Amazon. And by the way, it's an American Flyer or something. It's American made. So hopefully that means it's better. So it having higher CFM means that it's going to have a bigger motor right there. And that is got space now to the front pulley. The new fan has been ordered, and what we're going to do is we're going to mount it instead of this one, but we're going to raise it, that gap, about 3 inches. Raising it 3 inches with the engine at a tilt means that the center of the motor will have more clearance. But the really important part of that is that raising that fan 3 inches will get more airflow anyway through the radiator, because in the front of the radiator we have the air conditioning condenser with its own dedicated fan. So the existing fan is not fully blowing through the top. When we move it 3 inches up, it will blow more air through the radiator, and of course at a higher CFM. So that's not due to
Next week.
the Wednesday. So that's it. I'm waiting for the timing light, which I put in the refrigerator, to cool down and see if that's why it stopped working, and finish up on the timing. And I'm going to call this part 1 of episode 98, Two Old Guys Garage. And I already said the date, didn't I? Yeah. Anyway, so this will be part 1. I'm going to put it in the can, and when we get the fan and install the fan, that'll be part 2 for this video, and then I'll publish it.
You want to show those pictures?
Oh, yeah, where are they? Up here? Lou found a couple more of his old pictures. This is the sequential VIN number.
Right.
58, right?
58, yeah.
It's 58 that Lou got one, and then
Yeah, this is the one I got.
this is the one that Lou got.
And there was a sister to it.
This was the sister to it that got to who, Larry?
Yeah. And it had a, this was an automatic in it.
Oh. And this was a
4-speed.
4-speed. Okay, so that's
And then here is here is the Roadster. Rich Costco won the Oakland Roadster show with.
And this
is Larry right here. That's the guy that owned the Corvette.
That owns the second sister one. And that's what his Model A, I guess?
Yeah, we're putting this Model A together.
Yeah, that's his Model A. Anyway, this was an Oakland Roadster Show winner, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to stop this here, and we'll be back when the new radiator comes in. Thank you all. Like, subscribe, share, whatever. We appreciate it.
Cool.
Yeah, keep cool. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. Keeping cool. Okay. Bye, you all.
Okay.
Take care. Hey, Bob and Lou, the Two Old Guys Garage. We got the new fan in. It's over there on the bench, and we're going to install it. This is episode 98, part 2. So I'm going to set this down for a little pause, and we'll be back in a little bit as we progress with changing out that fan. All right, stand by. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay, as you can see, the fan is... Alright, we're back, half an hour later. The new fan has been installed. Fortunately, it was the same dimensional frame as the other one. So we moved it up, and if you look here, plenty of clearance. This is well above the pulley, so there's no problem with that. And we had to re-drill some holes on the side brackets that to allow for it to be moved up to the tight zero clearance. So it should be okay. So what were you saying? You don't...
This fucker here running the right way? It should be going this way, huh?
Okay, let me just flap it.
Yeah, it's going this way.
Yeah, it's a pusher. So that's hooked up as a pusher and that's running all right. This is hooked up as a puller. Gonna need another tiny little tie wrap. The fan blows the cable out of the plastic lug right there. I want to put one of those tiny ones here too. Won't stay. There's too much wind, Lou. We need a fan that doesn't blow as much. Yeah, sure. All right, I'm gonna pause again here. Back, same day. It's all back together now, except for the hood and the side panels. And as you can see, Lou is filling the radiator with 50-50 antifreeze water mix. And we had a little boo-boo. The Chinese radiator does not include a pitcock to drain the radiator, so you have to take the bottom hose off, which we did, but in the process we lost probably, maybe a gallon of coolant on the floor that didn't want to drain into the bucket. So, there we go. That should be it. We had to do a little minor tweaking, putting the power steering reservoir back and the puke can. So we're all set. Let me say, oh yeah, Lou, the AC compressor is what, 10 millimeter?
It's a 10 millimeter bolt.
It takes a 10 millimeter bolt, and he had a 3/8 bolt in here when he first installed it. And then you could, wiggle it a little bit. So he ordered a 10 millimeter bolt and he put that on yesterday. What else? I think that's about it. So, are you gonna live dangerous and put the hood on?
Huh?
Are you gonna live dangerous and put the hood on, or are you gonna road test first?
I'll just road test it first.
Alrighty. Okay, I'm gonna pause again here. Be back later. Close this off. Okay, same day. Everything's together. Antifreeze is in. We're warming it up. There's plenty of airflow, that's for sure. More than before. Should be. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up. Lou's gonna go road test it?
Yeah, we had to take it out, drive it around a bit, see
where it runs.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'll put that into the end of the video, 98 part 2 here, to show what the results were. I'll put it in text on the video. All right, signing off, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, all that crap. All right, take care, everybody out there. Bye-bye.